just seen one of the best goals ever scored here at Providence Park.
Hello and welcome to our preview for the LAFC versus Portland Timbers match. This game's going to be in LA at Bank of California Stadium at 7 o'clock on FS1. So looking forward to either getting JP Dela Camara or hopefully John Strong as the announcer. Either way, both very good options, better than ESPN. Jake Ziven, though. I always love Jake Ziven. But anyway, John, the actual game. Do you have any insights for us?
Yeah, LAFC just came off of a thrashing against Colorado, 3-0. They avenged their 5-2 absolute, just getting pummeled on decision day last year.
Embarrassment.
Absolutely embarrassing. And the Timbers are coming off of a 2-2 draw against the New England Revolution, who were the best team last year. So good results for both of them. So we'll see how they fare in this clash this week.
And I think as much as people are saying, oh my God, look, LAFC is back, Carlos Vela is back, it was a bit of a Mickey Mouse hat trick from him. One was a penalty that he didn't earn and was, not really his job. Like, of course he's going to make the penalty. His second goal was probably offside. And the third goal was a fine goal. So, like, on a different day, he could just have one goal. And, beating Colorado, whose best striker option currently is Jonathan Lewis, not incredibly impressive. I think we're going to do a much better job of testing their back line than Colorado did.
Yeah, and I mean, it is, I will say, though, it is funny that you point out making penalties as a Timbers fan, because
we know
that's what I'm
not
saying.
Our easiest. You should make it, but knowing our team, maybe not. I don't know why we ever have Diego Valeri take PKs. He has never been clutch in PKs.
Nope. He is not.
Oh my God. I would rather have Bill Tuiloma. I am the biggest Bill Tuiloma stan out there, at least in the attacking half. Have him take one. He's way more cool, calm, collected, and clinical than Diego Valeri ever was on PKs or free kicks for that matter.
No, I don't know about that one. But anyways.
No. Bill Tuiloma's efficiency, if you look at how many he takes versus how many he makes, way better than Diego Valeri.
All right, whatever. Anyways, let's just look at their history between the two teams. Portland has not lost against LAFC at all in the last calendar year. And they actually haven't lost in the last 5 games that they've played against each other.
Yeah, the last time we lost was in September of 2020, and we've played 5 games since then. We've won the last 3 and then drew 2 before that. So we kind of have LAFC's numbers currently. And that feels good because they're a team that I hate. I hate LAFC. I hate LA teams in general, but especially LAFC because they are far too good for as new as they are.
They've had a lot of success, but
not last year.
Last year was a bad one for them.
Yeah, that made me happy.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead to LAFC's team and how we line up different this year, they have a couple notable returns. Carlos Vela, who was absent for quite a bit of last season. He missed 11 games. And of those 11, 2 of which were when we played them. So we played him twice without Vela.
Yeah.
They have Franco Escobar from Atlanta United, who played in their opener. Kellen Acosta from Colorado, who also played in their opener.
Yeah, maybe that's how they beat Colorado. It was like, fuck. If you can't beat them, take them.
Exactly. And then they have their goalkeeper, who, why don't you try and say it here for me?
Yes, in my extensive French repertoire. But it's, I don't know French Canadian or Canadian French.
I think it is just Crepo, I think.
Crepo. Accent aigu on the first E. Maxime Crepo. I'm sorry for offending any person of French descent. Crêpe.
I agree with that.
Maxime
and then looking
Crepo. I'm sorry. Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Looking at the people that have left, we have Atuesta, who was a really good midfielder for LAFC, but I mean they added a couple big midfielders as well. So
yeah,
he left.
Atuesta is going to be a huge miss for them. I think he was leading last season in the absence of Carlos Vela. He led in a ton ton of different statistical categories. I think he had the most assists for them. He had the best foot mob rating on average for them last season. He had most successful dribbles per match. He had a ton of different statistical categories that he dominated for them. So they're going to look for Kellen Acosta and their other new people to make up for that.
Well, speaking of Kellen Acosta, that trade came at the expense of losing Mark Anthony Kaye, who is now in Colorado.
Yes. That makes me quite happy because I really like Mark Anthony Kaye, but I wasn't able to root for him when he was on LAFC. But now that he's with Colorado, it's much easier to root for him.
Well, and looking ahead to Portland's roster or lineup, what we think it's going to be, I don't think there's going to be any changes.
No.
I think all the injuries that we've heard with Larry Smabian and Zuparic still out for a week, plus getting their fitness. And then Eric Williamson with the ACL tear, Mora with knee surgery, and then Blanco also working on his fitness. I don't think we have any changes. Ivicic, by the way, most saves after week 1 at 5.
Let's go. Not necessarily a good thing. That he had to make the most saves. Yeah, do you expect to see Blanco for a bit longer this match?
Yes, Gio actually said that he's looking more like himself and that he'll expect more minutes from him this game. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Hopefully we can see him get back to what he was like during last regular season, because he has not been himself since that NYCFC game. He was so bad, and last game he was better than that, but still not great. He was not the Blanco that we saw for most of 2021.
No, we need the MLS's back Blanco. That's what we need.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
Looking ahead to LAFC's side of the field. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Looking at LAFC's team, I think Arango is going to get his first start of the year. I think Latif Blessing is also going to get their first start of the year. I think both players did sub on in the last game, but they didn't start, which means I think Vela will end up going on the right, which will create problems for
Bravo.
One Mr. Bravo.
Yeah, who was my LVP of the last match was Bravo. So if LAFC is smart, they will attack down his side, or really just attack wide in general, because neither of our outside backs are that great. Granted, our center back pairing is somewhat new. Oh, yeah. God. This is going to be a long start to the year, isn't it?
I could see LAFC trying to victimize the outside of the field. I mean, that's what I'm sure Bob Bradley will do it.
I can see them trying to victimize McGraw and Tuiloma, too.
That's also... It could be a long day. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Which brings us into our keys of the game, and I think the first big one is controlling the midfield, because LAFC's goals came out of the midfield for the most part, where it was a long ball or they won the ball in the midfield and transitioned really quick, and Jose Cifuentes was a big part of that because he got 2 assists against Colorado, and he was just really big for them.
Yeah, we need to be clinical in our transition, especially we can't give up balls easily in the midfield, because that is going to be really, really bad for us, because we won't be able to, we really like to sit in when we win the ball, then explode out. But it's going to leave our back line really, really empty and alone if we are losing the balls in bad positions in our in their attacking half or in the midfield. So we got to hope that we're able to transition effectively and turn those into chances when we can.
Well, and speaking of chances, I think one of the other big keys for Portland is going to be taking shots. A lot of Colorado's struggles were that they didn't have any shot. They had one shot on frame. Yeah, one shot on frame is not going to beat LAFC. So I would love to see Niazgoda get the ball in the box and take some shots, put some pressure on the defense, do a little bit better than Colorado did on offense.
Yep. Hopefully Niazgoda was pretty silent in the last game. So I hope to see him be a bit more active. Granted, that's not necessarily his style of play, but I would love to see him get on the ball a bit more, and so we don't have to rely on Asprilla, Chara, and Moreno as much.
Yeah. Well, and I think the last important key, which we've kind of touched on already, but it's really going to be how the Timbers handle this will be how the game goes, and defending Carlos Vela. Yeah,
that's going to be... I wouldn't be surprised if they took a page out of the 1975 Timbers, when they played Pele and they had McTominay just man mark Pele. I wouldn't mind not necessarily man marking, but giving a lot of attention to Vela and just stopping him from scoring. I think the thing that we want to do today is just not let Carlos Vela beat us.
Yep. Well, and with defending him with extra attention, that leaves more space for Rodriguez and Aranjo. So we're gonna have to try and balance that. So we'll see how we do.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with giving Aranjo and Rodriguez space if it means shutting down Vela for the day. I think if we can shut down Vela, I don't think they'll know what they'll know what to do.
When you play a team like LAFC, you kind of just have to, and then just live with other players beating you is kind of how that works.
You put it at the ball in their court.
With that being said, what do you think? What prediction do you have for this game?
I'm going to go back on the history. The previous 3 times that we've played them have all been 2-1 wins for the Timbers. I think we continue the trend today. I think it's going to be another 2-1 win. I think Nias Goda is going to get his first goal. And I think we're also going to see a rare Diego Chara goal today. That's my prediction.
I could get behind that. I'm going a 2-2 draw. I do agree. I think Nias Goda will get a goal today, and I think Vela's going to get a brace. I think our defense just isn't quite going to be ready for it. So we'll see.
No. Okay. Yeah, I think if I had to bet on who their goal is going to come from, I see an Aranjo goal today. I think
okay. All right.
Vela has scored so much, we're going to give him good attention, and that might open up space for others.
All right. We'll see what happens.
John, final little guessing game that I think we should do into perpetuity, because I don't think this will ever be old, because I don't think the Timbers will ever score a hat trick. Who do you think is going to score the first Timbers hat trick today?
Today?
Yes, in today's match, if you had to guess someone to score the first Timbers hat trick.
I'm going to go with Nias Goda.
Okay. I don't see Nias Goda scoring 3 goals. My money's on Dairon Espria, 1 bike, 1 goal from the half-yard line, and an Olympico. Granted, he doesn't take corners, but he's going to take 1 corner and score an Olympico off of it.
Okay. If there was one player on the current roster that I think could get a hattie other than Blanco, I think Mora could do it. I feel like Mora's got it in him.
I think Mora does. He just needs to get healthy.
I agree.
Okay. Well, that has been our preview for the LAFC versus Portland Timbers game. So we'll hope to get a little a dubski for the Brubskis today at 7. See you there. Well, I mean, I won't actually see you because...
Yeah, you will. You will. I'll see them. I'll see them at the very least.
You'll see them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoever you are, John will be seeing you tonight. Make sure you lock your doors.